Hi friends. Okay, so I've gotten the same message in my inbox several times in the last few days, and it dovetails perfectly with what I've been talking about because if you follow my posts, you see that I've been really struggle busing. And so for those of you who are like, I'm struggling with my workouts, I don't know how to get them in, I don't know how to prioritize them, I totally understand, but this is what I'm telling you. Hey, no. Sorry. Children are home and they're using boxes to climb into the pantry. Get a chair. Anyways, you can't make it something that's optional. Like when I was first starting with my journey, I would come up with all the excuses and I would like bump my workout. Like I would just let it roll. I'd be like, well, I'll get to it. But by the end of the day, it was the very last thing I wanted to do. And so I didn't do it. So what I'm telling you to do is to find the time in your day that it works for you. So maybe you have to work out in the evenings. Like maybe that's just the only place it will fit. Maybe you can get up earlier and do it. Maybe you have kids that go to school and you work from home and so you can do it during the day. So what I'm telling you is look at your calendar and find a time that works for you. This isn't about becoming super rigid, but this is about making this a priority and a non-negotiable. And when I tell you to make it a non-negotiable, I'm not coming at it from this like super hard stance. You have to go hardcore. I want you to listen to your body, okay? Because when you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. That's not what we're about. I want you to listen to your body, but I also want you to stop listening to all your excuses. We all have them. And it's not about whether or not you feel like it. It's not about whether or not you're motivated. It's not about whether or not you want to. It's about you making a decision to show up to your journey and then having the discipline to do it, which is really hard. And that's something you have to cultivate. I don't have any tricks for you other than find the time in your day, the consistent time in your day when you can make it happen, and then set an alarm on your phone. This sounds so silly, but for me, it's been such a game changer. If I have a lot of things to get done during the day, and it's really easy since I do all my work on social media to go down the rabbit hole, to get super distracted, to start to scroll, to just really like procrastinate the stuff I know I need to do to move my journey forward and to help more of you get traction in your journeys as well. So I set an alarm on my phone. I figure out when my window is, which for me, that's usually like 8:30, 9 o'clock. I set an alarm on my phone. Drink your pre-workout. Set your intentions for the day. Like I legit have like 3 different alarms set, okay? It's drink your pre-workout at 8:15 because even if I walk them to school, I'm back in my house by 8:15. That alarm goes off and it's like, oh, okay, yes, it's that nudge. Otherwise, I'm going to start doing things. I'll do some laundry. I'll do this. I'll do that. I'll get on my phone. But no. It's in my face. There's no snooze set up. So it's like, this is it. I got to freaking do it. So I drink my pre-workout at 8:15 and then my next alarm is like, I don't know, 8:19 or 8:20 or whatever. And for me, that's my affirmations. Like, what are my affirmations? I say them out loud. I'll write out my to-do list. Just take a couple minutes to get my stuff straight. Because if you're like me, it's a squirrel brain. And I'm like, oh, I got to do that. And I need to stop my workout. So I write this down and don't forget things. And then just, no. So drink your pre-workout, alarm goes off. Then it set your intentions, say your affirmations out loud because everything you say about yourself will become your truth. So if you have a broken mantra, this is too hard, I just can't do it, I'm not motivated, I can't stay with it, I'm not consistent, I'm so gross, blah, blah, blah. If that's what you're telling yourself, you will continue to create that. You will continue to manifest that. You will continue to live up to those super sad expectations that you just set for yourself. So instead, I'm telling you to have some affirmations that maybe stretch you, that maybe feel totally phony and not authentic. But that's okay because you're going to step into who you want to be. You're going to say, I am intentional with my actions today. I am showing up and celebrating my journey. I'm going to move my body and honor how it feels. I'm going to take one step in the right direction. Today, I am living with joy and I am shutting out my fear. Whatever affirmations you need, it's totally personal. It can change every single day. Doesn't freaking matter to me, okay? And then at 8:30, I think I just changed my alarm because I kept turning it off. So I rolled it back. It's a living, breathing thing, my schedule. So my alarm, they'll say it goes off at like 8:40 or whatever. And it says, work out, be a badass. So label those alarms with something that motivates you, something that inspires you. It's not about if I want to, it's about showing up because I can or whatever. Okay, so those three things, like those three alarms, have made such a difference in my own journey. And when I finally was like, okay, like I'm the leader in my own life and nobody else can get these results for me. It's not up to my coach, which my coach doesn't even exist. It's not up to anyone else to show up and make it happen. It's not up to them to like nudge me along. This is my life. And I can either show up and take charge and do my very best and surrender the rest. Doesn't have to be perfect. I modify on lots of days. There's days like yesterday that are total struggle bus, but I make that decision that it is a non-negotiable. And so for those of you who've been in and out, kind of, sort of, you're not really getting results, you don't really know what to do, and we've already had a conversation, like I've offered my help to you, you're just not committed. And so I want you to ask yourself a really hard question today. It's not about whether or not you can, because every single one of you can transform your life. We're not talking about washboard abs, creepy Barbie arms. I'm not talking about a number on a scale. I'm talking about you taking ownership in your journey and transforming your life. Transforming your life. What we do in this group, yeah, there's workouts, yeah, there's nutrition, but it's about so much more than that. It's about you stepping into who you've always wanted to become and busting through those self-limiting beliefs and those self-limiting blocks that keep you stuck. You are in charge. And whatever story you've told yourself, whatever story someone else told you along the way, none of that matters. None of that has power unless you continue to subscribe to it, unless you continue to fester on and think about it and feed it. I'm asking you to draw a line in your sand. Middle of the week, Thursday morning, doesn't freaking matter. We're in the middle of a challenge, it's the middle of a month. It doesn't even freaking matter. But you can recommit every single day and you can say, you know what? I'm not going to be that person anymore. I'm not going to make excuses. I'm not going to come up with all these reasons why it's too hard or I'm too tired or hurts too much. I'm going to do my best and show up to my journey, finding the joy and celebrating how far I've come. Because even if this is your day one or this is your 50th day one, it's still your journey and you're in charge of it. And if you decide right now in this moment to recommit, to draw your line in the sand, to do your very best and forget all that stuff that you used to tell yourself, when you do that, you get momentum and you change your life. So those of you who are like, I can't get motivated, I can't get inspired, motivation doesn't exist. And there's not enough inspiration in this entire freaking universe to get you to show up to your journey every single day. You have to make a decision that you want to become a better version of yourself every single day. And then you have to take freaking action to get there. And the only way you get there is discipline. It's making the decision and it's having the discipline and leaning into the place like this. It's going to give you the accountability and the support. I'm not your mom. I'm not your wife. I can't make you do anything, but I believe in you. And I know as someone who was 200 pounds and stopped for forever, would never do a home workout. I couldn't stick to that. I would never drink a meathead shake. I would never join a gym. I wouldn't do any of those things because I already knew it wouldn't work for me. I already had it all figured out. I didn't have the time. I didn't have the energy. I had 3 kids. 3 kids. 3 kids. Ages what? Charlotte was 3 when Connor was born. So don't tell me you're too tired. Don't tell me you don't have time. You have time. You have time for the shit that matters. And if this doesn't matter, you won't make it happen. Get your money back right now. But if you're ready to change your story and to change your course and to chart your future, that begins today. It begins by you making the decision, you creating the discipline to do it every single day. And you know what? I'm going to give you permission to show up for 5 minutes. You set those alarms on your phone and then you push play and you give it 5-10 minutes. And if at the end of that 5-10 minutes, it's just like, this is awful, I hate it, I'm giving you permission to go ahead and stop. And if that happens for an entire week, well, you did more than you would have. Hopefully you've started to create some new habits. And if you still hate it, then that's not the program for you. That's not the right fit for you. And we need to readjust and realign, but you have ownership in your journey. You, my friend, you can change your entire freaking life with the decision to commit to this today. I changed my entire freaking life. I know that so many of you, I don't know this, but I imagine that a lot of you like roll your eyes when I talk about coaching or whatever, when I invite you to become a coach, when I invite you to re-engage. Some of you block me, some of you unfriend me. That's okay. It's maybe what I'm saying to you, it's just something, it's a message you're not ready to hear. And I release it. I bless and release it. I want all of you to get momentum on your journey. I want you to come to your come to Jesus moment on your own terms because that's the only way this works. But I know that my coach, Britt, invited me. I don't even know how many times. Totally discounted it, was not interested, rolled my eyes, whatever, not interested. And I finally did. I finally did the workout and I drank the shake. And then I was like, oh, I like that. But I don't really want to say I like that because then that's me eating crow. Pride, all those things. And then eventually, when there was a program that came out, which was PiYo, I wanted that bad enough. This was back in the day, you guys, when you had to pay $160, $180 for one freaking program. And it would come on DVDs, which all mine would get scratched because, I had all these little kids and quite frankly, I was lazy. So I wouldn't put them back in their holder or I would lose them or the kids would mess with them or whatever. And it was like one program with a nutrition guide and a bag of Shakeology. Like you get so many tools. So those of you who are like, I can't afford that, I can't make that a priority. I got invited to a spin class here and a 3-month session with 2 classes. 2 classes a week in a window that if I miss, I miss. Was like a couple $100 for a freaking 3-month session of something that happens 2 nights a week. And then if I miss, I miss. I'm just out. This, you guys, there's so much value here. You get so much for your money. And you have the complete potential to transform your life like I did. Like I finally listened to Britt and she was like, you'd really be good at this. And I kept saying, no thanks, no thanks, no thanks. Not interested, not interested, not interested. So let this be a lesson to all of you coaches who don't keep following up with your people, who were like, oh, I don't want to bother them. Do you really think you're bothering them? If you're really bothering them, they'll let you know. But I'm telling you, as someone who wasn't interested, as someone who wasn't up for it, someone that just didn't even want to, this changed my entire life, you guys. It did not just remodel my butt. I went from 200 pounds to what I weigh now, which I think I'm like 150 pounds. But it's not even about the number. It's about I found who I was supposed to be. Outside of motherhood, I always thought motherhood was my mission in life. I thought that was my purpose. And then I became a mom and I felt so overwhelmed and so stuck and so bored. So bored. And then I felt guilty for saying those things, for saying that I needed more. But I didn't want to go back to Starbucks. I didn't want to work for someone else. I wanted to be me. I wanted to be home with my babies. I wanted to have freedom. I wanted to give a big middle finger to the federal government who would tell me, no, you're going to continue to live in Yuma for the rest of your life. No. I don't want to play small. I didn't want to play small. And I saw this as my opportunity. So those of you who don't understand the opportunity that's here, it's massive. It is huge. It's huge. But it's also up to you. And your business journey will reflect just like your fitness journey. It comes down to discipline. It comes down to consistency. It comes down to you being willing to do the freaking work and to get vulnerable and to share your authentic story, which I think is scary for so many people. But I'm telling you, there's so much power in it. So if you're discounting this, if you're discounting the workouts, if you're discounting the shake, you're like, oh, it's overpriced, it's a ripoff. You don't have enough information, first of all. And secondly, if you do try it and you hate it, you can get your money back. And thirdly, it just changed my whole life. So I want all of you guys to get momentum. And so many of you are just starting out. So many of you have been in this group for freaking years, but you're still starting out. And that's okay. You can start out as often as you need to. You can go back to base number 1 as much as you need to. And it doesn't mean that you failed. It doesn't mean that you suck. It doesn't mean that you're just never going to get momentum in your journey. It just means that's where you're at in this season of life right now. And so you need to lean in to tribe. You need to lean in to the places of accountability. You need to lean into your own excuses and get really clear on what is in your way and what's holding you back from becoming the most epic, amazing version of yourself. It's not about a number. It's not about a size. It's not about how many programs you do and how fast you do them. It's about you freaking owning your life. Your life. Your life. This is your life. This is your journey. What we do in here, it's not just fitness. It's not just workouts. It's not just like selfies. No, it's about you finding your power and you finding your voice and you finding your fire and leaning in and doing the uncomfortable stuff. Peeling your onion, getting better at being you. So if it's been hard, I'm so glad. I'm so glad it's hard because in that tricky, uncomfortable, hard space, you're going to learn really important things about yourself and you're going to learn what you're made of and you're going to find your power and you're going to find your purpose and you're going to find hopefully your spark to keep going and to recommit as much as you want, as much as you need to. So I'm here. I believe in you all, whether or not I'm your coach, whether or not you know me in real life. I believe in you. And you're here for a reason. You weren't taken hostage and put in this group. Like, you are here because you belong here. You belong here, and your journey matters. And you're not too fat. You're not too far behind. You're not too old. You're not too young. You're not too skinny. You're not too tired. You're not. You're exactly where you're supposed to be in your journey in this moment. And it's up to you to drive your bus, to course correct, to give yourself grace, to celebrate how far you've come, because I see that over and over where you guys don't celebrate how far you've come, and you've come so far. Even if this is your 50th day one, you are still farther along than the person you were before you started this journey. So I want you to celebrate all the ways you're winning and all the ways you're getting momentum. And then I want you to commit to doing better and just honoring the freaking process and finding your joy. If you need me, drop a comment. If you're going to recommit, I want to know. Don't be embarrassed. Be proud. Every time you recommit or every time that you have a really hard workout, be freaking proud that you showed up and that you had the discipline to push play and to do 5 minutes or to do 10 minutes or to share about how that was hard or that was emotional or you had this aha. I want to know when you drink your shake, not just because I want all of you to buy it, but because I believe in it. I wouldn't share about something. I wouldn't proselytize about something that I don't believe in, that hasn't transformed my life. This is not just fitness. This is not just a business opportunity. This is the chance to change your entire freaking life. Your entire trajectory could be totally different if today you trust the process and you commit to being the best version of yourself and being disciplined to do what you don't want to do on the days you just don't feel like it. It's not about if you can. It's about whether or not you'll choose to show up. So I believe in you. Drink your water, do your Kegels, remind yourself of all the ways that you are winning and you are getting traction and you're completely rocking your own freaking life.